We are rolling. How many times have you said to yourself that tomorrow is going to be the day where you wake up early and then when the time comes, you press snooze, you lie awake in bed and have zero motivation to get out? Because believe me, I have been there too. I am a firm believer that anyone can become a morning person, from someone who once wasn't and has now been consistently waking up between 5 and 6 a.m. every morning. It is the single most powerful habit that I have made that has completely transformed and upgraded my life. So if you keep telling yourself that you're going to get up early tomorrow and you never do, then you have come to the right place, because I'm going to share my science-backed tips on how you can become a morning person. And hi, if you're new here, I'm Monika, also known as Dr. Mon. I am an NHS GP in London and I have been a doctor for 8 years now. I share my life inside and outside of the clinic online, and I'm here to be a credible and relatable source of science-backed information to help you live your happiest, healthiest and best life. And if you've been here for a while, then welcome back. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but if you want to become a morning person, you have to go to bed earlier. And I don't mean getting into bed and doom scrolling. I mean going to bed like you mean it. Creating a solid nighttime routine with a consistent bedtime not only means that you wake up feeling well rested because you've had enough sleep, but it also means you can start waking up at a consistent time. We have our own internal sleep-wake cycle known as our circadian rhythm. It's a 24-hour cycle that has major hormones involved, like cortisol, which, by the way, is not the enemy despite what social media tells you, and melatonin. And it also helps in our immune system, our metabolism, our stress, and so much more. And it also loves a routine like a consistent bedtime and wake up time, which is why when we work night shifts or we're jet lagged or we have a horrible night's sleep, we feel pretty awful. And it's because this rhythm has been disrupted. Going to bed at a consistent time helps work with our circadian rhythm. Now, I know it's tempting when your alarm goes off, but please, please, please do not press snooze. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you press snooze, it can actually leave you feeling more tired for the rest of your day. Let me explain. When we go to sleep, our brain goes through these sleep cycles, and each one is around about 90 to 110 minutes. It goes from transitional sleep to light sleep to deep sleep and then our REM sleep. But when you press snooze in the morning, you're actually tricking your brain to go into another sleep cycle, but it's not the restorative sleep that you need. And then when you finally do get out of bed, it can leave you feeling pretty fatigued. It can also eat into your valuable time in the morning, which means that you have to rush, and it's the stress that we just don't need in the morning. And if you're like me, and I was a snooze presser, and what I actually do is I put my phone on the opposite side of the room so that when my alarm goes off, I physically have to get myself out of bed to turn it off. And the other thing is that I have an alarm on my Whoop, and that vibrates and that gets me up basically. And the other thing you can try is the 3-2-1 method by Mel Robbins. So that's when your alarm goes off, you count down 3-2-1 and imagine that you're basically launching yourself like a rocket out of bed. Okay, so you've got out of bed at a reasonable time, you've not pressed snooze, and now I want you to get that phone that's in your hand and put it back down. Reaching for our phones first thing in the morning has basically become a bit of a reflex, with over 80% of us checking our phones within the first 15 minutes of waking up. But did you know checking our phones first thing in the morning actually has considerable effects on our brain? As we transition from sleep to wake, our brain also goes through different stages. It goes from delta, which is deep sleep, to theta, which is light sleep, and then eventually alpha, which is quiet for wakeness. When we wake up first thing in the morning, our brainwaves are dominated by theta, which helps with relaxation, daydreaming, and even stimulates creativity. But by grabbing your phone and checking it first thing in the morning, you're basically thrusting your brain into beta waves, which are the ones associated with focused attention. And whilst these are good for later in the day when you're tackling tasks, if you have them first thing in the morning, it can leave you feeling pretty stressed and scattered. Not to mention, if we check our phones early in the morning, it can actually increase our baseline dopamine level, meaning that we crave checking our phone more during the day for those dopamine hits. Now, they say that you should avoid checking your phone for the first hour of the day, but personally for me, that's pretty unrealistic. You can start by not checking it for maybe the first 15 minutes, and then you can slowly increase it if that's available to you. The other thing I like to do is actually reward myself for not checking my phone first thing in the morning. And I do this by either having a longer time to enjoy my coffee, prepare a really nutritious breakfast the night before, or even having a little morning dance. Okay, so far we have gotten to bed at a consistent time, we have not pressed snooze, and we've not checked our phone. And the fourth thing I want to mention is morning light. Morning light is so important. It actually helps signal to your brain to wake up and support that circadian rhythm, which we know plays so many important roles in the body. Now, I know in the UK, winter is coming, so the mornings are getting darker and colder. But things I like to do in those times is switch on all the lights, open up all my curtains, open up a window, and if it's available to you, step out into your garden and just get some fresh air and that morning light on your face. And my last tip, which is my most favorite, is having a list of morning non-negotiables. I see my morning as this sacred time. It's the time that I have to myself where I can do things to fill my own cup before I give to my patients, emails, and everything else. I have a list of my morning non-negotiables that I do for myself, come rain, shine, or whatever my mood is, and I know that it's going to help fill up my own cup before I pour into anyone else's. And for me, these can be things like morning light, morning movement, enjoying my morning coffee, daily affirmations, or dance. And the reason why I think this is my favorite tip is because it is so personal and you can really make it about you. I feel like this is the one that makes me so excited to wake up in the morning. I think all the other tips are the ones that gradually build over time and then almost become like you're on autopilot. So I really hope that I have given you realistic and actionable tips to help you become a morning person. I did these things gradually over time and I honestly look forward to my mornings and I really think you can too. If you made it to the end of this video, then thank you so much for watching, and if you have any other topics you want me to cover, then please leave them in the comments section below and I will see you next time. The end.